Hello. Today we are connecting with Donalee Gastreich, a transformational leadership coach, a best-selling author, and the founder of Complete Solutions. And in this video, we're going to explore the various services and products that Donalee offers through the newer store. But before we dive into your individual offerings, what intention do you want to share behind what you offer?
Beautiful. I think my intention is generally the same to guide the purpose-driven leaders in mastering more of their vital instrument, their human potential, which is their own energy and presence. My intention then goes further to move that leader from a model of exertion into one of precision, from reactive turbulence to one of calm clarity, and from that short-term force to something more sustainable and a coherent impact that actually supports those that they lead. Ultimately, my mission and my intention here is to equip today's leaders to achieve their energetic coherence and internal alignment that creates an flow, an alignment that inspires empowerment to all people and becomes the actual catalyst for regenerative growth in every system they lead.
It's beautiful. It's really a great intention that you bring forth. So let's talk about your services that align with this attention. I mean, what in this what
Mm.
services do you have? Who are they for? And what kind of transformation do they support?
Well, my services allow the conscious participant to embrace more of their innate potential. It's not about learning something externally, but bringing more of you online. And it begins with awareness and then embodiment and a union, a uniting, let's call it heart and brain into coherence. And coherence is the very energetic edge that's available um, to land the greatest impact for all leaders, not by force, but through their presence. And we used to think our IQ, our intellectual intelligence, ruled everything. But then leaders were introduced to EQ. And today we're being upgraded once again to what I call NQ. It's our
And
energetic intelligence. And it's our
yes.
ability to sense the unseen signals in people and environments. It's the potential to feel our own coherence and incoherence before it actually becomes visible. It's the ability to read the emotional undercurrents in your teams, in your meetings, and in your very decisions. But it also helps align thoughts, emotions, and actions. And it's going to continue to evolve along with our collective needs and directives.
It's beautiful. You speak so clearly. So
Mm,
I
thank you.
from yeah, so from what I understand, you basically have four different offerings in the store. There's the your book, which is bringing spirituality into business, and
Yes.
then we have your ebook, and then there's a self-study course, and then there's the monthly winner circle. So can you just walk us through each one of those?
Absolutely. I look at the book I crafted as a beginner's stage. Most of the business world is still asleep. They think that their job is stressing them out and their boss is inadequate, right? So they're still at the finger pointing and unable to self-regulate. The book, Bringing Spirituality into Business, is a guide to reintroduce us to our spiritual intelligence and to bring forth the awareness and the observer's self so that we can start to begin to see things more clearly. So I look at my book as a very elementary level of awareness to know yourself, grow yourself so that you can live your life in an empowered state of being.
Nice.
And the next step would be to tip your toe into what I mean and when we talk about NQ. and our energetic edge. So I've created an ebook to do just that. And it's called The Energetic Edge: How Next Level Leaders Will Lead. And it's a beautiful introduction to your ability to sense and feel more through energy. And once that's complete, if you're still intrigued and ready for more, I've created a self-study course where you walk
Nice.
yourself through each module of really embodying what that energetic edge looks like in action for you. And then the winner's circle is where we really start to practice amongst our peers, where we meet twice a month for a 90-minute call that's broken out into sections of what's really happening in our reality. Where do we need help and support, and what's showing up to give us greater direction and move through. And we really then expand that energy into what it looks like to consciously move beyond it. And we do so amongst our peers, where we get instant live feedback from whether we came across authentic, whether we were trustworthy, whether our energetic field was being felt with intention and authenticity. And the winner's circle is where we really take all of what's coming online for us, which I consider to be our 5D consciousness, fifth dimensional consciousness, and we really put it into action. We think with a mentality, not me, but we, where it's a bigger view. And we call it the winner's circle because the true win is when what we've attained is already rippling through the field, through our organizations, through our community. And so, as a participant in the winner's circle, one of the main requirements is that you're on board to share what you've learned and embodied within 48 hours after the call. And this is where we don't hoard what we've learned, we share what we've learned. We start normalizing these conversations, we start empowering others, and we start creating a more coherence in our own field.
Sounds like a wonderful platform that you've built. I mean, you're also the founder of your consulting business, which is called Complete Solutions. So, I mean, are these 4 items that you offer? Do you really believe this is a complete solution to what you do, or is there more that goes beyond this?
I feel like because we're all on an individual journey, free will matters, right? What I offer is complete solutions to help you go further faster so that you don't have to do it solo. So you're not hitting all the stumbling blocks and uncertainties alone, that you're supported in all of this. And that in maintaining your aim and focus to where you're headed, all that side noise starts to become minimized. So the group really has an impactful message that we send through, and that is the value of community and how important it is today and going forward. We've distracted and we've come away from communities, and businesses and organizations are operating in dysfunction. But the
Hmm.
real dysfunction starts in us. We have become segregated. We're utilizing one part of our intelligence, our intellect. We
Hmm.
think we have to know everything, and we don't listen to the messages that the body's sending. What do? We have an ache or a pain or twitch, and we reach for something to numb it. Tylenol, ibuprofen. We want to hide that message instead of listening to it.
Hmm.
And I think this is the real awakening, that we are whole and complete in ourselves 100%. And the main aim is to bring those intelligences back into our awareness and know we have the emotional intelligence to handle these rough, raw, intense emotions, and that emotions aren't stuck in us until we latch onto them. And
Hmm.
oftentimes we do latch on and we grip so hard we can't release. So I do think I offer the complete solutions, but
Nice.
again, it's not a force. It's an offering for those who are called to evolve. And each one of us is going to make that choice and decision in our own way.
Free will in action.
It is. And
So
that's a
you
beautiful thing, isn't it?
Mhm.
Let me just pause here for a minute because that
Sure.
free will in action is really part of what we're creating. We've seen in every area where our free will, our freedom of speech, our ability to share and contribute to the conversation has not been accepted. We've
Mm.
been stifled. We've been, not listened to, not heard. And the censoring on the internet and all sorts of ways, we're just really noticing and coming home to the truth. This is not what we stand for. This is not in alignment with the core of our essence.
Mm. It's wonderful. So you also contribute to regenerative solutions. I mean, what can you share with us about what
Mm.
they are and why they even matter?
Well, I feel like if we don't have regenerative solutions, we're putting band-aids on things. I pride myself in being what I call a root cause realist, meaning I don't want a band-aid for this situation. I don't want a temporary fix. I want to get to the root
Mm.
cause so that we make the shift from that level. And I feel like I equip the leaders with the self-awareness and the self-regulation to utilize the collaborative intelligence and their own resilience and energy to build businesses and communities that can naturally start to thrive in the harmony of a natural world. And don't get me wrong, we'll be infusing AI in everything. It's
Mm.
already starting. But I don't want people to be afraid of the AI part either. But the regenerative solutions that I offer is shifting our operating system back to the root cause, right? That
Hmm.
we can't just keep putting band-aids on things or quick fixes. Your solutions have to work on a human operating system and helping leaders identify and transform limiting patterns, like our need for constant growth at any cost,
Mm.
and eliminating the fear-based scarcity thinking or that you need to be better or ahead of others. We really start to see the value, especially in the winner's circle, of what it means to come forth as a collective and the value of being in that collective consciousness at a higher level. We all have access to the wisdom and strengths of others in our own understanding. So I believe that the winner's circle is a truly regenerative angle because it's a container for evolving leaders. And we define winning from a regenerative standpoint. The whole aspect
Mm.
of winning is to celebrate the ripples that you've created. And that's other people's winning, right? That's the winning of those who are also gaining from your growth.
So it seems a more collaborative nature than than an individual effort. So it seems as though you're helping
Yeah,
leaders really empower themselves in terms of transforming not only themselves but their organizations from a 3D existence to a 5D existence is what I think I'm hearing.
exactly. That's exactly what's going to happen. As the leaders start to embody their own coherence, they bring coherence to the field, to their organization, to the field that their organization operates in. That field of coherence, we know when we walk into a room that the energy feels good, and we know if the energy doesn't.
Mhm.
Like if there was a argument going on when we walk in the room, we sense it, right? So we're going to
Mhm.
really become more aware of our energetics. I think we spoke off camera at one point about karma being more instantaneous in
Yes.
these higher
Hmm.
dimensions. And that's what I mean by we're experiencing energetics at a whole new level, right? That's
Mm.
just one example of how we're experiencing it simultaneously. Um, and a lot of things are going to be restructured. I think in 5 years, we'll look back and hardly recognize this day
Mm.
and how we
Yeah.
operated in it. Yeah.
Mm.
And am
It,
I
it it is.
ready? Go ahead.
What's that? I'm sorry.
I was going to say, and am I ready? I feel like
Mm.
what we're doing now is preparedness work. We're creating a capacity to bring in the new. And this is truly what the winner's circle is always expanding our capacity to bring in more of what's coming online for us. But also then how do we integrate what's coming online and how do we embody it to share it in our communities? And the safe and sacred space to do all that is what I've created the winner's circle for, to
Mm.
giving leadership that safe and sacred space to model themselves because it's a shift in us. We're all feeling it, but what it should feel like is natural,
Mm.
unmasked, without effort, not trying, more embodied, natural, authentic. And sometimes it's uncomfortable for leaders who spent their life thinking through the intellect to shift to that embodied stance.
So who would you say is your ideal leader to come into the winner circle?
It's a leader who knows either, through his board or through his own recollection that shifts and changes are necessary and feels internally that energetic pull towards developing more of himself in
Mm.
doing so. In it, we don't really get to that full coherence until we activate the heart's intelligence. So there is a merging and a blending and a coming together internally to come into harmony and unity as our whole when we start to merge our different intelligence fields and systems together into the greater field of coherence.
So is it fair for me to conclude that based on what I've heard you say, that a 3D organization is one that primarily operates through their mind, and a 5D organization perhaps is one that operates more so through their heart?
Yes, but I don't think business is going to resonate with those terms. And only
Okay.
because love, spirituality, those aren't words we talk about in the business world, right? And so they have a hard time bringing that language front and center. I like
Okay.
to talk about the effects of a heart-centered leader.
All
And
right.
a heart-centered leader automatically makes that shift from me to we.
Nice.
He cares about his people. So while the answer is yes, it's more about how we go about it and the effects it brings than the terminology and the wording itself, if that makes sense.
Makes total sense. Thank you for
Okay.
clarifying that. It's a big distinction.
Well, and I don't want to say that to deter anybody, but I do want to make certain that if you're still getting hung up on words, if certain words are triggering to you, it's best that you focus on the effects of what you're looking to achieve, the
Mm.
end result,
Mm.
the root
Mm.
cause, right? What it's going to shift at the root of things versus the terminology or the labeling. I do know that some people still relate spirituality to religion, and I'm here to be really clear. Spirituality is not religion. Religion often encompasses spirituality, but in an entirely different way than spirituality comes forth on its own.
Mm.
But, religion has us think that we have to get to God, that God's outside
Mm.
of us. And what
Mm.
we realize through a deeper journey is that No, everything is within us. The
Mm,
pathway there is through within us. And the
mm.
heart's intelligence acts like a doorway, a pathway, or a portal to more of our personal, professional, and planetary growth.
What you just said, I've heard that to summarize that religion is based on God is external to us, whereas in spirituality, we've come to realize that God is within.
Yes,
And the answers that we're seeking are not so much in the external world than within ourselves. And it's really
exactly.
reclaiming our power. It's really
Yeah,
reclaiming our power to acknowledge the spark of God within all of us. And whether you call God, Allah, Buddha, whatever, it doesn't matter. It's all the same energy. So it
right.
gets to your point about language, that language can actually get in the way in many times. And language is very limiting as well, because it just there's so much more here that we can even begin to describe. So I really appreciate everything that I've heard you say. And so if someone is really new and feeling drawn to you and your work, how would you recommend them to best proceed?
Well, I think this is a self-gauging decision, right? I'm always open to a conversation, so feel free to reach out. I will say that before, if you haven't read my book and you haven't picked up the free ebook, then I would probably run you through a 20 question self-awareness assessment just to see your level of self-awareness. Um,
Mhm.
because the winner's circle is really for those who have done some work. We've realized we get triggered and we've worked to, shift that energy in a moment. And we may not be masterful, but we're on our way, right? We're actually doing the work, engaged, embodying what changes are necessary. But if you want to start at the beginning and start with the book and work your way up. But if you really feel you're a good fit for the winner's circle, reach out. I will pass you along an assessment and you can see for yourself where you land.
Nice. Well, that's wonderful. Is there anything else you want to add before we wrap things up for today?
Well, anybody who's still listening, if this conversation has sparked a sense of recognition or remembering in you, if you feel a little resonance to what's being said, it's that feeling that your leadership is meant to be more fluid, more impactful. And then I just offer you, may that feeling be your inner compass. May it be what guides you, that may you listen to it and trust it as it pulls you forward. And I believe what it's pulling you forward to is more of your energetic edge, right? And then follow it. And when you're ready, to answer that call with a full commitment, a devotion to your growth, know that the circle of conscious leaders awaits you. We're here in the lab, ready to listen, learn, and evolve alongside you. And your journey to coherent and conscious leadership is a journey that we're meant to do together. And we can't wait to begin together. If it feels right, we welcome you.
Well, that's just wonderful. And it's really just been a real pleasure connecting with you, learning about you and your purpose and all the work that you do. And what you're doing is so needed at this time. So thank you. Really appreciate your efforts. And yeah, the world needs you now. So thank
Thank
you.
you. Well, I'm really happy to be a part of the new Earth civilization because it is near and dear and compassionate to my heart, where I know it's what I came here for. And I've never been more excited to be alive and on this journey together with other conscious creators, creating a space that is going to empower people all in and of itself. Beautiful.
Well, thank you for that. Yeah, really. I have chills going through my body right now just listening to you describe that, because it's a collective vision that we're all doing together, and collaboration is the key. So thank you.
Let's share with the listener what those chills represent. Because when we get those chills and it's a signal of alignment with spirit,
That's right.
with your soul, with what's right and needed and necessary. And we're all getting those, I call them spine chills. They go up your whole body. You feel them from head to toe, right? Like
Mm.
it's almost like you can see your hair standing on straight up, right? Like, and energetically resonating with the message. And
Exactly.
I couldn't be more excited to be part of it because it is how we're going to move through this together. And
Wonderful.
yeah, I know I need everyone else too to support my evolution. We're all in this together, and this is the beauty of what it looks like when we come back into unity and harmony with our earth, with our sky, and with one another.
Amen to that. And yeah, it's beautiful. So thank you. I mean, I view chills as truth. I mean, that's when
Thank
I
you.
get chills, speaks truth.
Yes. Thank you.